Hello my friends, I am Hondo, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Aurora. This is episode 5. In episode 4, we went ahead and got a bunch of research done, and it actually looks like I need to update that while I'm here. Um, we did some serious upgrades. We switched all of our old worker-based mines to automated mines, and we're building a whole bunch more because I'm going to be shipping them out to our little mining colonies here. Because 25 mines is good, 100 mines is better. So we first of all have to, of course, have that many mines to be able to send them out. So we also upgraded our, come back here, our military academy to level 4. So that will now have 20 new officers per year between civilian administrators, scientists, and naval commanders. So that'll be good. Did we do anything else of serious note? I don't think we did anything else outside of that, at least not that I can remember. I was trying to focus the research a bit on being able to build defenses, because if we notice, our friends on the moon here are just starting to get a little bit antsy about having defenses. Like I say, at 1/100%. It's nothing to even remotely worry about yet, but it will only increase as time goes on. So I might as well try at least to nip that in the bud while we can. So that's why I've been researching a lot of things about defenses, so I could build better turrets, is the plan. All right. In the meantime, let's get another capacitor charge upgrade. That'll help. And we still have some labs left over. So let's just get something generally useful, which will be the next type of engine. That sounds like something fun. Obviously, that's not for our defense project. That's just for our next level of ships whenever I build some more. But either way, that will be good. Now, I think, if I recall correctly, yes, I had started, I think it was to Hyperion. Yeah. So I had enough mines to start shipping the extras to one of my colonies here, although it still has a long way to go. But that's okay. We've got plenty of civilian ships doing that work for us, which is so very, very nice of them. It's much better than me doing it. I do have a cargo ship. I just really don't see a point in me doing it when I can have the computer do it all by itself. And if that's not fun enough, we actually get a tiny bit of tax on it. I think that counts as trade goods. Maybe not. I could be wrong on that. But either way, we get a little tiny slice of money from that, so it's even better. Anyway, let's go back, make sure research is still going. Research is still going. This one's probably going to finish though any second now. Okay. Let's see what else we can grab here in terms of better turret technology. Now more gear speed would be helpful. Basically what I'm planning on doing is using the Mason cannons for those, although I may use lasers instead. I'm not 100% dedicated to the meson cannon yet. For that matter, I could even do plasma cannons, but they seem a little bit large. It's like sending a torpedo to shoot down a missile. I mean, you can do it, but it seems kind of weird. But maybe I'll just do, or even microwaves. I think I'll do lasers. I'd like to start getting a bit of that researched as well. I like having choice, and that's really the main thing I like. It's not necessarily always the most efficient, but having more options has to be a good thing. So we'll get 2 levels of that. I generally, as I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the last episode, I don't really like building anything using the initial or even the second technology. I usually like waiting until at least the third. So I've done 2, like I've researched 2 things minimum, because the initial stuff is generally kind of garbage, to be honest. But anyway, higher wavelength, less power with range. Huh, okay, that sounds like something we should have at some point. So yes, let's have that. That seems reasonable to me. Okay, and let's do it again. Why not? These very quick technologies, we might as well bash a couple of them out. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. There's our next level of focus. All right. Okay, so that is only for torpedoes, even though it sounds like it should be for lasers, but apparently it is not. Okay. Well, let's check then, if we go into design, let's see what we can make in terms of a laser point defense. Actually, I'm going to wait. Let's get the 15 centimeter focal size first. Just before we do that new design. Simply because that's directly what influences the damage. You can see it there, damage output. When I looked at the Meson cannon, I didn't see anything about damage, which struck me as odd. I could just be misunderstanding what's happening here. So maybe I am actually better off just to go ahead and stick with lasers instead of the Meson cannons. Although I thought, at least the way I understand them, is that they should actually be better for point defense, but I guess lasers can absolutely do the same job. So, and I'm definitely more familiar with lasers because in my practice games, like just when I'm playing off on my own, the 2 games I have played, one of them I did go with lasers, and it actually worked okay. I haven't really used Meson enough to know if it's any good or not. But anyway, okay, so that's still going. We've got tracking speed coming up. What else could we possibly need? This one's a bad one because it makes the laser smaller, but it increases the recharge time. So you could fit more lasers on, like if you had, say, a huge, you wanted to make a laser ship, you could therefore put even more lasers on it, but they would all shoot slower, so it's not really worth it. Although I could research it just to see if there's then a next stage after it. That might be worthwhile, because a lot of these lead to other technologies that are better. So that first one is definitely terrible and we're never going to use it, but it might lead to something new that is usable. Although it looks like we're going to get the 15 centimeter size first, and that's fine. Okay. Alright. In the meantime, let's see about armors. Or shields. Maybe we'll do shields first. Yeah, that'll be helpful. I'd like these things not only to be able to shoot down stuff coming in, but to actually survive a hit or two if possible. Okay, so the energy side, that finished. Okay, so it did create a new one, and it's going the wrong way. I was kind of hoping for one coming back the other way, larger size, quicker recharge, but this is just getting even more ridiculous. So yes, you could fit 2 lasers in the size where you could fit 1 before, but they fire a 20th as often. I mean, yes, you could have more capacitor recharge, and that's something we'll get as well, but that still doesn't really seem worth it to me, you know? Having lasers firing that slowly, I mean, how does that help? Anyway, in the meantime, we will get slowly to work on that reactor, just so we have that moving. And let's check on our industry here. Still going pretty well. We've got plenty of mines now, so Hyperion... where are we here? Okay, so Hyperion is done. Oh, sorry, no, I'm going to 100, not 75. Sorry, they're not quite done yet. I still got a few more coming, but I think we should be able to actually start... Yeah, I can haul the next batch off to Newman here, who needs 74. Okay, we can do that. 74 demand, and we'll increase Earth's supply by another 74. There we go. And we'll let the ships get going on that. That'll take quite a while. These are pretty long trips. These 2 especially, they're moving because they are comets or asteroids or something. So sometimes they're kind of close, but sometimes they're really far away. Obviously, Titan being a moon of Saturn and Venus being, well, Venus. that was an intelligent sentence anyway. They're pretty static. They don't really move, like in terms of distance from the Earth, and that is. Whereas the other one, like there's Newman there, we can see it. And you can see it's moving. Now right now it looks like it's actually moving towards us, so it's actually going to get... Oh no, that's just the packet from Newman. Never mind. Oh no, that's Newman itself. That it's just got a packet to send. But we can see it's pretty far away, but it is getting generally closer. So as they're going back and forth, the next few trips will be slightly quicker and quicker. And that's nice. Although ultimately it's the shipping company's problem anyway, because they're doing it, not me. They are such good lads. I think I'm going to even send them a bonus. There you go, boys. Have some extra money. That's just the kind of generous tyrant dictator I am. Maybe I'm not a tyrant dictator after all. Who knows? Anyway. I should be. That's what I was trying to do. But clearly, I'm not very good at tyranting. Anyway. Let's get some better construction rate going. Because that will help Earth out quite a bit. Because it still has a fair bit of work to do here. Should be finishing up some of these pretty quick. And then I think I'll pop in, and once this is done here, I think now we can go in and try and design that laser turret. So first you have to build the actual laser. So with the focal size changing here, the damage output is what's massively changing, so that's fine. Visible light, okay, so that's affecting its range. That's fine. Doesn't appear to affect its recharge speed, so there's no reason not to have that. There's never going to be a reason not to have the thing simply charging faster. As you can see here, I'm changing the capacitor change, and that's changing the rate of charge. So, no reason whatsoever to... It's actually probably easier to see here, an actual rate of fire. When I have the lowest one here, it takes 30 seconds to fire. But when I go all the way up to the top, actually there's not even any difference between 3 and 4, but it's now 10 seconds. I could have that really terrible one, I'm not going to. And I could do a spinal mount, which would let it be even bigger. But I think I'd rather have just a lot of small lasers than one big one, so... Because this is, after all, going to be also a point defense. The field I'm putting in here is technically the company name, so it's not going to interfere with the one I've already made. So that's fine. Let's build some of that, and now we can research it in energy. Right there. You, sir, research that for me, please. Thank you so much. That's a real quick one. He should be done instantly. Yep. Okay, so now we can go and design turrets. So right now we do have 2 to choose from. I'm going to switch us over to, well, you can see it right here, right off the bat. The Mason cannon fires slower and does less damage. It does have better range. No, sorry, it has a better range modifier. Its actual max range is actually worse. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be using Meson cannons. In fact, if I can find it, I'm going to delete this technology just so it's not in the way. But anyway, we are definitely going to be using light. So, this will be good. Now we just have to decide how much armor to give it. I don't know. Let's see just how expensive it is. Obviously, it makes it far more expensive to build, but in terms of materials, what is it actually using? 1138 and 141. Okay, so it's neutronium that's being used. Okay. Now, is neutronium one we have a lot of? Well, we don't have much on Earth. Okay, we've got 5 million of it on Titan, though, and about near 2 million on Venus. So, yes, I think we can afford, even though we don't have a lot yet, we do have 2 excellent sources to mine it. So, I don't mind having these be 10 times armor. Well, maybe at some point I should research better armor, but for now we'll just have, 10 thicknesses of armor. The other thing should I do is, should I have this thing do multiple cannons at once, or should I just make them all small? I think I'd rather just make them small. I can always just have, 4 sets of these instead of building a single 4-timeser. So, although that does mean I would then be paying for all that extra armor. Okay, quad point defense it is. I'm assuming we have to research that in order to learn how to build them. They are probably under defense. No, where are they? Construction? Do I not have to research them? Do I just immediately know how to build those? As you can probably tell, I've not used turrets before. I've researched them, but I never bothered to actually try and build one. Sorry for the momentary pause here, but I'm really not seeing. Yeah, I guess I don't have to actually research it. I guess it decides that once you've researched all the tech, you just know how to build them. Okie dokie. Well, then let's go ahead and try to build one. That would be... wouldn't that be an installation? No. Okay. Huh. Perhaps I should have tried to find this off camera so you guys didn't have to watch me stumble through this, but that's part of the fun. You guys can... Oh, okay, so we can build the individual components just as ship components, but that doesn't really help us. Oh, right. Okay, it's actually a ship component, which means we have to do it as either a ship or a PDC. So I'm going to start these as building as a PDC, or Planetary Defense Complex. Yes, I know. Thank you. That's entirely the point. Okay, so we're going to have India-class turrets, and it's not really going to be a cruiser at that point. It's going to be a... Do we have, like, defense structure or something like that? No, how about just, like, turret or something? No? Okay. I mean, this really doesn't matter, but it's not really a sensor platform. It's a defense platform, but... Oh, planetary defense, right? Like, how about, like, right there? Anyway. And we can prefab the stuff to send to other places, which is neat. But anyway, let's go ahead and design this guy. So, right off the bat, we will want more armor, for sure. Probably 10 thicknesses of. And I just want to make sure that that's the latest armor. Yes, it is. If, for example, you have the screen up or you've gone and researched more armor and you come back to it and this is still wrong, you can just hit this button and it'll just automatically update your armor for you. Because there's never a reason to have lesser armor. They just get better and better, and they don't change size too much or cost too much. So there's never a reason to deliberately take lesser armor. If you want less armor, just have less thicknesses of it, really. So here we go. We have the point defense. Actually, while I'm here, can I get rid of... Yeah, I could just obsolete that component completely. There, now I don't have to actually deal with it. We will want for sure at least one of those. Insufficient power. Right. Oh, that's right, because we need to design... I don't think we ever... Did we ever design... Probably not. Let's design a power plant. I don't think we ever did that because none of our previous ships had weapons. So again, we'll take the best one we have, simply because you can see the power output's better than double. And the explosion chance is still the same. We don't need a boost, we don't have it anyway. So that's just a case of how big do I want this thing. Anywhere from as little as 5 tons to as much as 1,500. Well, these are going to be planetary size, so there's no reason they can't be humongous. There you go, Coles drive systems. Fantastic. Alright, so now we need to pop out and research that. So it becomes available to us. That'll be under power, of course. There you are. If Elise here could go ahead and research that for us, that would be fantastic. Now, she's not yet done, so I'll just give her those extra labs. Yes, thank you. And I'll give you some extra labs. There we go. I guess I should have waited for this before I built that turret design. Ah well. The next generation can use it. It'll be fine. I just want to have something, just to keep the people on the moon happy. because obviously as a dictator, it's very important that my people's happiness is a priority to me. Yeah, I don't think so either, but anyway. Alright, so that's done. So now we can come back here, we can do a refresh of available technologies, and somewhere in here will be power plants. There it is. There we go. So now it's got tons of power. I don't really need an ICBM because this is basically just an anti-missile place anyway. I don't know if it actually, does it actually need barracks? It's using crew quarters. So I guess it doesn't really need that. I will give it a damage control, although I'm not sure it's really going to help it, but we'll give it to it anyway. Other than that, I think really all it just needs is, you know, more sets of guns, and that'll be fine. So this takes about 24 power, so I can do a total of 5 of these. I think, and that should still, this power plant should be able to support 5 of those, if my math is right. And that also means that this thing can shoot quite a bit. And that's going to be excellent. Other than that, I shouldn't need anything else unless I just want to put more and more armor on it, but I think we've already got enough of that. Oh, I have not designed beam control. Let's do that. Okay, so we only have very short range. I did research the improvement to the speed rating. Size versus range. Okay, so this is going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, it's not a direct... So some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller. That's why that kept changing on me. Okay, well, bigger is fine. I like these in tons. I apparently do have some ECM. We might as well have that, sure. This will be for PDCs, which means this is irrelevant. Fire control versus tracking speed. Well, we definitely want the highest tracking speed we can get. I don't care how big this thing is. It's irrelevant. It's going on a planet. So, there we go. The only thing I might want to do is I think I may want more fire control distance. And I think I actually want to wait for that before I build this thing. So we have to just wait a bit for something to finish here. And then let's get more of that. Where would that be? Is that a sensor or is that an energy weapon? I think that's a sensor. Yes, there it is right there. Okay, so let's bash out another level or two of that. Because obviously the sooner you can start shooting at a missile, or at least the sooner you can track it, obviously the better your chances of actually shooting it down. And again, I shouldn't need to explain why that would be a good thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and bash this here. It looks like the next power station reactor is going to be done too, and that's fantastic. I see no reason not to continue researching that. We just built a new fusion reactor and it's totally fine. Or should I just work on jump? Yeah, let's work on jump first. And apologies if you can hear that screaming in the background. My cat has decided he wants attention and he wants it right now. But I'm not giving it to him quick enough. So that clearly is a fault of mine. Isn't it, Smokey? Yes, sir. Anyway. So now that we've got, well, as soon as we get this, I can go back and update that design. And that shouldn't take too long to research, because she's quite good at it. In the meantime, though, something else is finished, and that's good. So that lets us research something else at the same time. Just generally getting better at jumping. We're nowhere near the point where we're going to be doing that, of course, but it's never a bad thing to know how to do it better. Let's, in the meantime, speaking of just knowing how to do things better, let's learn to terraform better, which will help our friends on the moon. And with the rest of this, let us... What shall we improve? Let's actually improve the mining rate, because that will help all of our auto mines. That will be good. Alright, so now we can go back to our designer here. I probably have to close that because I don't think this thing will have updated. No, it won't. That's fine. But it was a beam control we were working on. So now we see we have the upgraded range. We have the highest speed. We have the highest range. Highest tracking speed. So yeah, so that's just the control computer is going to be humongous, but that's okay. I don't know why you would ever not want this. I guess it's the cost in uridium, but it just helps you not get blown up as easily. So I don't know why you would not want that, but anyway. PDC only. Okay, so it makes it more expensive, but it does increase the range, I guess because it knows it's going to be stationary. So that's irrelevant. Booth Corporation. Fantastic. Let's do it. Alright. That should be under energy or sensors. Sensors. Okay, so we have to wait for something to finish, and then we can search that. And then we can finish off our PDC. And that will be awesome. There we go. Actually, I'll use you. You're not quite as good at it, but you're allowed to use more of the labs, so I think that'll actually help make that get done just that little bit faster. Although it's not too bad a tech anyway, so it shouldn't take all that long to do. But anyway. You probably are noticing we're getting so many more scientists. I even have it set to only show the existing ones. But because I upgraded the academy, we now have tons and tons of scientists at all times, which is absolutely delightful. It also means we have lots more governors and naval commanders, although we're not really using them all that much. But anyway, so for now we'll just dump those labs over there just so they're used. And let's go finish setting up our India here. So we'll refresh tech. There's our Booth Corporation. There we go. I don't know if deployment time even matters for these things, but pretty much forever, really. Like, I don't see any real reason, unless that means the crew on it. But it's going to be on a planet anyway, so they should be having shore leave anyway, so I don't know if this even matters. Whatever, we'll just leave it like that. Plenty of armor, plenty of guns, sufficient power. So yeah, so I guess I just have to decide just exactly how much armor this thing should have. I think 10's probably plenty. Yeah, I think 10's plenty. What I do want, though, is I want to make sure that there's somebody running it. And I think for the names for these, because this is a defensive structure, let's give this a special name. Maybe dinosaurs. Everyone likes dinosaurs, right? Awesome. Anyway, so that is our India class PDC. Fantastic. Now, let's go ahead and work on getting these things to the moon. Because I should be able to build these. Okay, so they'll have an assemble job or a prefab job available. So let's go ahead and prefab one of these. Okay, for now I'm just going to put it in the queue. I need to fix this here. We're done all the mines. I also need to go back and fix those up because now we have tons and tons of mines. Okay, so you have just about got all yours. The rest of them are on the way, so I can forget about you. You have the demand for them going, so it's just a case of them getting there. So I can forget about you. You need 75, and you need 75. Okay, perfect. So Titan is going to demand 75. And Venus is as well. And Earth is going to happily supply both of those. Perfect. So that will take quite a while for them to ship them all there, but they're all built, they're all ready to go. That will still leave, I mean, we're not going to have tons of mines left on Earth, but I don't really need them, so it doesn't matter. most of what we have now will be coming in off the mass drivers, so that'll be fine. So let's just go ahead and get these last research labs finished so we can get the sector command built, and then we'll start prefabbing these PDC Indias. And that will be great. There we go. That's the last of the labs, which means I can now add them to get them doing something. Let's work on what? Jump gate stuff again. Let's go that way. Because eventually we are going to need that, and from what I understand, I need a lot of technology to make them behave nicely. So let's go ahead and bash out the sector command. Should only take like 3 months or so. Awesome. And what that allows is now when I come in here, I'll be allowed to have a sector commander. And that will be awesome. Our sector commander will give a small bonus to everybody, so I definitely want mining. Absolutely. And maybe factory? Or wealth? Or terraforming. Let's do wealth as the backup, but mostly just mining. So this guy here is absolutely awesome at mining. He has some other good bonuses too, but he's awesome at mining. And he is a level 6. You need a level 5 to be a sector commander right now. I guess that's based on, it's probably just one more than the highest one you have, I'm assuming. But either way, congratulations. You, sir, are now in charge of the entire sector of Earth. Oh, I think he was the guy that was on Venus. That's fine. He'll now give his bonus to Venus and everybody else. So that'll be even better. There we go. We'll need to close probably and refresh this. Oh, no, there we go. So we can see we've got double bonuses going on now, which is just awesome. All right, let's get going here. So we're going to be prefabbing one of these. You can see that my rate was about 7,000. Adding him in has drastically increased because he also had a construction bonus, which is just awesome. Okay, so we now have a prefab PDC. So all things being equal, can we ask for the civilians to move that? Does not look like it. So I guess I have to move it myself. That's fine. We can do that because I do have, just so happen to have a cargo ship right here who is sitting around bored out of his mind. So let's go ahead and ask him to go to Earth and pick up. Load. Where is it? There it is, a PDC India. Go to the moon and unload. I'll just do an unload all, it doesn't really matter. There we go. So that will not take it very long at all because this is a decent speed ship. Only the longest parts will be just the loading parts, but that's fine. Let's zoom in close enough so that we can see it. We'll bump the clock ahead a little bit. And we can see it's already made it to the moon and it's now doing the drop-off part. And it should be done. There we go. So now the moon has what it needs to build a PDC. Okay, so it's showing a cost, but no actual materials. And I don't know if that means it'll actually do it or not, because it doesn't have any factories. It has population, but I haven't given them a factory. I should probably fix that. Okay, so my good friends civilians here will grab one construction factory, just the one, to send to the moon, and one construction factory supplied by Earth. Just enough to get them going. That should be all that they really need. Of course, I don't know if there's a way to reorder these without deleting and recreating the contract, so it might be a while before they actually get to do that, but because they're still working on moving all those mines, which is a very slow process, but Anyway, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, all our research is done. Well, faster construction again. Yeah, let's get faster construction going again. And let's also work on mining. That'll do. Awesome. Okay. So this is still going to take quite a while, even with this many ships, because just the distances are so long, especially when they're going out to Titan. Titan's going to be pretty far out there as well, but it's mostly just these far out asteroids. So it is a slow process to be sure, but they will go. What I will eventually have to start watching is, especially on these smaller ones, at some point they're going to get to a point where the depletion time is, pretty low. So once these things have depleted, at that point I need to send the ships over to pick up the mass driver and all the mines, and then pick a new spot to dump them off on. So, but that will be a good problem to have, because that means we have completely drained something. It's a very good problem to have, especially for the asteroids. I guess once we, have completely drained something like Venus here of all of this, well then maybe things are a little crazy at that point. But for now, we are doing well. So that is a good thing. Awesome. All right. Yeah, you don't have a factory yet because you're still waiting on that. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to use my ship to do that. Just because this is going to take far too long. I would like to get the moon going here a little bit sooner. So let's ask our Foxtrot here to go to Earth, pick up a construction factory, just one, and drop it off on the moon. And then go back to Earth and gas back up, even though you probably don't need it by then. Okay, so it's at Earth, it's loading up. It's back at the moon and unloading. And that should do it. Now, when I go and check on the moon, we should now see a construction factory, which in turn means some production. Not very much, I guess, but some production. Do I not have enough workers for it? Oh, there they go. Some workers there. I'm not seeing any production rate at all, though. That seems weird to me. It doesn't take any materials, it just takes time. But for some reason, they don't seem to want to actually build it. And I don't know why that is. That does not make a lot of sense to me. They have enough workers. Plenty of workers. Somewhere in the growth rate there, population is dropping for some reason. That's also very strange. How are we on the environment here? We still have a long, 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 long way to go. I think. Let's start adding oxygen. That should go to 0.2. I'm also noticing there's no annual production here of the terraformers. What is going on here? I don't understand. Or is this not that only 1/100th of a percent are mad, but only 1/100th of a percent are willing to work? That might be what's happening. That would not be good. That would not be good at all. Okay. Yeah. I'm also not entirely sure how I fix that. Alright, well what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put in the cut in the episode here, and off camera I'm going to try and figure out how to fix this problem, so when we come back, the date will probably have advanced a bit while I test some stuff, but I'm going to see if I can get the moon to cooperate with us again, because right now it appears that all but about a couple hundred people absolutely hate me. So I'll have to figure out how to fix that, but I'll do that between episodes. So at this point, everyone, please stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.